my life, can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I'll rip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
I have no words. I really don't. So we're gonna go to this video footage really quickly. We're gonna play some of it. One sec. Let me stop this share really quickly, just to make sure you guys have the sound here. And for those of you who heard about this story, who knew about this story or whatever, I guess I got some questions for you guys. Like, where are you sitting on the lives that were conducted? Apparently, this standoff with this young man and police started around 10 a.m. or so this morning. It's now 7:18 p.m. Okay. And not long ago, we're going to start from the very first video, though, and I'm going to kind of narrate, give you a little bit of backstory as you listen to the chaos that's going to present in this video, because I feel like it's necessary that we see it for what it is. We review this content together, and there is a conversation around accountability. Yeah. So
hold on.
One sec. Sharing it.
Look, he yeah, because he really up there with his wiki out. What? His wiki. I can't even find it. He a fucking clown.
Wait, it's the wrong screen. Let me share.
He said they shot his dog. The dog on the porch barking. Oh, really?
Check out the comments.
Oh, they did shoot his dog. Really?
Right. He's entirely naked, people. Naked as a jaybird, as they say.
Then let me take some of this down.
They getting a kick out of that. They getting a kick out of him being up there naked. He grown there. You want to get a corn?
Bitch, the police is getting a kick out of him up there.
Yeah, he was walking past laughing.
Why you didn't put no drawers on? Cute butt. You don't know him. His ass is up there hot. He could have wrapped his shirt around himself. Anything just came out dick swinging. Just swinging.
His ass over there cooking.
Bro, I gotta go take a nap. I got work. Buddy tweaking. Look though, they all down there and shit. Hold on, let me show y'all. Oh, sorry, buddy. They all down there. They chilling too. What the fuck? Hey, bro, they done shot. I guess they shot kill his dog. He ain't trying to come down there. He asshole naked. Dick out sitting. That's a period. Yep. Bitch, it's like 6 labs rolling from out here. Get my keys.
Oh my god. Yeah, house or something, you could.
No, she said she's about to go to her house. She said meet her at her house. Why is he up there? I don't know. Shit. I know I guess they shot his dog and killed his dog. He ain't coming down. I don't know why he up there. I know he up there asshole naked. It's hot as fuck.
Little girl. Look at her. Get off, fuck them. Oh man. Oh man.
I am not coming down. Oh shit.
That's nasty.
I know who that is.
I'm fucking dying. So, better take off that.
Mm-hmm. Who shot dog? The police? Look, they about to tell they down. Where you at? On Superior? Oh, he really is up there. No draws on, no nothing. Oh, everybody got them serious dogs over here. Oh, I don't know. He said they were shooting at him. I don't know why they. This damn near the sergeant in the white. Mm-hmm. This went down there too. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ace, this shit is wild, bro. He really up there with his nuts out. He wilding. Look. What street you on? The fuck? Superior, girl. I was on my way home.
Look at these comments, you guys. Just look at the comments. Pay attention to these comments.
How the fuck did he get up there? Damn, Cuddy. What the fuck?
He don't got no drawers on, no nothing. I'm trying to. Is it?
That's my boyfriend. That's my nigga. That's my friend.
Was he on drugs? No, he said they were shooting at him and they shot and killed his dog. They shot and killed his dog. He said he ain't coming down because they were shooting at him. You said jump. He said he ain't coming down. He not on drugs. Then
He's doing the right thing. He's doing the right thing.
Are you guys listening? Are you guys listening to the comments that they're making on the outside? And looking at the comments that are made in the comment thread, I've kind of gone through a couple of them.
Where Kayla at? You got her phone?
I just drove past that in the view. Damn, he probably was laid up in his house naked. Y'all act like y'all lay up in y'all shit like that. If y'all lay in y'all house naked, that's your own problem. He can be laid up naked. Shit. I ain't gonna come outside though. Go get that man some water. Shit, gonna get him some clothes. But shit, how the fuck he gonna get anything? But how he get? They said that window that's cracked open. Yup, that window that's cracked open.
He's like, hey. Does anybody got a lighter? No one here.
Oh, here you go. Oh shoot. That's the best way to sleep, but that's naked, ain't it though?
Where's his dad at?
They say he walked off. They wouldn't let him talk to him, so he walked off up that way. Oh shit, they got the news. The news about to put him up there, ass naked. Oh. Nah, there ain't no clothes on the roof. Them his feet. Oh, they is. Sheesh. I bet his ass hurt. Y'all heard that? He had his clothes on. I bet his ass hurt.
This is not fucking funny.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Throw him some.
That motherfucking dog. Look at that.
All his clothes is right there. Right there. I didn't see it. I said that.
You ready?
No, they already. No, the owner better get it. They just say they kill his dog. That motherfucker come out. They gonna blow that motherfucker back.
They better not that motherfucker on. Man.
I didn't even see them clothes. He might be having a mental health issue.
Dispatcher just said your horse is good, expert. You see, ain't no police right here. They was just right back there. They all moving in. So you gotta get off that roof while they told us to get behind the truck.
So I have one question, you guys. As you're watching this, or as you're listening to the rhetoric of the people that are watching and filming, what's going on in your mind? What's happening for you? Like, what are you guys thinking? What are some of the things right now that are resonating with you as you're watching this unfold and you're hearing the message, you're hearing the perceptions of the people who are equally watching? Everybody's watching this guy on the top of this roof. Like, what are some of the things that you're thinking? Do you guys agree with some of the perceptions that are presented in the comments, or the people who are commenting as the video is being recorded by this girl on her phone? Are you guys like, tell me, where you sitting on this?
He
He coming to get the other dog. He said, bro, 13. Y'all see, this shit getting deep. I think Channel 2 just pulled up. Shit, his ass gonna get famous off this one.
Where you at? Let me see.
Hey, you just want to know them officer said they said expedite the warrants is good.
It's hot as fuck. My dumb ass got a long
All
sleeve.
right, no pressing.
Try pressing before you go to jail.
The police is here. You wanna go?
He climbed through the window. They say he literally about to get a bag. They done fucked up. Hey, Nisha, you funny, bro. I was gonna put her on here, but then she just started doing it, so it was just stick to him. She could have
I
been.
don't know where to go.
Shh. Look, they already here. That's what I was saying. Jump 2 was already here. And he fine.
And he fine. I'm gonna skip through in just a second. I'm just editing the post.
You see the dog?
Say okay, news reporter. Oh shoot. Huh.
I go to dad right here.
Why don't I talk to the dad?
She right.
Yeah, but they said the first time they
Hey, bro, your caseworker here, nigga.
It's my chanting.
I believe.
Y'all gotta back up off him. I already called dibs.
Little girl.
Back off him, call dibs.
What do you want? No, ma'am.
Understand, people, whatever you put on the internet is public, including these comments.
Is you hot? You wanna go to the car?
This person says a security dog to help with mental issues. I think she means emotional support dog.
Girl, they been down there. Okay, they been there. They been sitting down there for the longest.
Yeah, just don't jump. You're good, just don't jump. Just stay in the wrong position.
Some of these comments.
Right, they done brought their K9. They shot his dog. It killed him. What street is this, Superior?
This girl says he doesn't need some ice water. He can live without water for like 3 days. Maybe if he wouldn't got up there in the first place to cause panic, he could get some ice water himself. Man.
I'm not getting his number for none of y'all. Get off my man's bed. Where is this? On Superior.
This person says people need to shut up. She on live to help him save his life so they won't kill him. That's the mindset that we have when a person is experiencing a mental health crisis and the police officers show up to assist. They are literally in these occupations to protect and serve. Before anything went down negative, before anything hostile is released, before anything hostile happens, this is our mindset. And then we wonder why it is that our police encounters end up with people being shot, people resisting arrest. The people out there to help that man get off the roof, if they just protest around here and tell the police not to shoot the man and let him get down by himself. Yeah, we're trying to view more content, more comments for sure. Let's go back. That was her comment. Why hasn't the fire department used a ladder to get him down? You guys see how long ago this stuff started? 7 hours ago.
No,
7 hours ago. It's just now ending. So wait, somebody asked, I just want to know what type of warrant he got to be doing all this.
Hey, look, baby, you funny, right? Funny. He done got me right on here.
Saying not even funny for those who are laughing grow up. This man is trying not to get shot in America.
Tell him jump, cuz. Hey, bro. And he need to put some clothes back on. What type of sick joke?
So everybody got an answer as to what somebody should be doing, but they
it's
don't
not
have
a joke.
job.
He's really up there. How's a joke and he's really up there?
So this person says, y'all really on here acting like they haven't killed people for
Who is that? I
no
don't know
reason.
him. Y'all keep asking me, I don't know. Dog letting the whole view see everything.
I'm still trying to figure out how black people don't have to work. That's what this person says.
That's caseworker right there.
Them polices playing games. Benson and Stabler would have found a way to talk to him.
Say hey, lad.
Oh my God. You guys are something. Exactly. Is anyone trying to get him down or is everyone just watching? I'm confused. There's a process, by the way. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what a mental health crisis is. We're going to talk about what is and isn't acceptable in our community today. And I want you guys to put your comments. You guys let me know what you think, how you feeling after as you're watching this
Call
stuff
me,
unfold.
sir. Don't call me. Yeah.
Definitely want you to answer that question. And I'd love to know what you would have done in this situation.
So the dog man must have got the dog.
I think this is when she zoomed in. It's a little closer. You see, it's 100% naked.
The dog right there on the porch with the red collar on. The one that's sitting up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's another one in the tent. Yes.
He was literally standing there with
Superior.
the like this. The truck pulled up, skirt, popped out, they shot at him. That's how they shot the dog. Why?
Y'all can talk about one of drugs. It don't got nothing to do with no drugs. Shut up.
So we're going to talk about the specifics around this actual scenario. And this is us. Without knowing the situation or nothing.
I'm like, no, dude.
I'm skipping through.
That's okay.
They didn't still won't bring the fire truck down here.
Oh, by the way, the fire truck does come, you guys. I think it's at the end of this one or at the beginning of the other one. Yeah, so it's at the beginning of the other one. I'm going to show you guys the content from that one as well. Okay, so right now, though, I'm going to zoom in.
They took the ladder down, but why they didn't bring it down here yet?
Hold on. I'm going to zoom in really quickly, and we're going to talk about this a bit. We're going to have a discussion really quickly. Where are you guys sitting on this stuff? What would you have done in this situation when you see this man experiencing apparently a mental health crisis of some sort of crisis? This dude's 100% naked on top of his or someone else's rooftop. You don't know because you don't know the guy, right? But you see that there is a naked man on top of the rooftop. What is your response? What are you doing at that point? Are you pulling out your phone and you recording? So as you guys type in what it is you would have done in this situation, this scenario, I'm going to go to the content of the story behind what was unfolding. Okay. Lieutenant Matt Beavers of the Dayton Police Department. And this story it happened this morning. It started to unfold, I think around, was it 10 a.m.? I think it was like 10 o'clock this morning. But let's read the story, okay? He said they were tipped off about a wanted man by the FBI. Unmarked officers began patrolling the area and found him at a house on Superior Avenue. Once uniformed police officers arrived at the scene, the man fled into a house and officers gave chase. When they approached the porch, Beavers said a dog lunged at the officers and that one of them fired a single shot at the dog. Okay. Everybody was talking about the guy's dog was shot. Okay. That was that part. The man has multiple violent felony warrants against him in Minnesota and several misdemeanor warrants in Dayton area. Witnesses at the scene told Channel 2 News the man may be upset because his dog was shot. The Montgomery County Animal Rescue Center removed the dog from the scene, and witnesses say the dog will be okay. Mental health professionals, family members, and first responders were able to coerce the man into climbing down the ladder of a fire truck. He is now in police custody and being taken to a nearby hospital. Okay. So that is the status of this case. You know, when it started to end around 1 p.m. Okay, let's know when it started. That was 6:28, the last update. Okay, 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you guys are. What y'all thinking? 6:28 p.m. That's where we are on the story. That's where we are. Let me check out where you I'm glad it ended peacefully and they deployed mental health professionals to talk to him to get him down. So here's the thing. There is a proper protocol to these types of incidents. Um and there were a lot of things. There were a lot of speculation on the sidelines from these people who were recording this video. There you had more people contributing to the chaos at the scene while the police officers are trying to do their job. For me, it's the energy that is at the scene of the people that are on the sidewalks looking into this situation without any inside knowledge whatsoever and weighing in on what should be done and what this person did or didn't do and all of this stuff. So what are you supposed to do in a situation where a person is clearly having a mental health crisis? Let's talk about what a mental health crisis is. Okay. And let's talk about how they can happen. Let's talk about why this guy is headed to a local hospital versus being in police custody at the police station. Let's talk about the guy being black and the idea that we have as a black community that the only thing that we can think about, only thing, is that these police officers are there to harm or murder this man with a gun instead of help him, render help or aid, assistance to do what's proper, a part of proper protocol. Let's talk about all those things. A mental health crisis is a state of emergency that is currently defined by a person exhibiting behaviors as a result of emotions, thoughts, or feelings about a particular thing that causes them significant distress, and those behaviors are said distress responses. Okay. Typically, those distress responses look like them hearing or seeing things that are not there, and as a result, they end up in compromising positions. Another feature, or how we would know that they're having a mental health crisis, sometimes people find themselves extremely depressed to the point that they feel worthless, helpless, and hopeless. And as a result, they feel suicidal. And they do things that will either put them in the direct line of fire so that someone else can take their life, or they go ahead and they have the kahunas, they have the courage to end their life themselves. Okay. When we talk about mental health crises, these things are not a joke. Okay. They just are not. Hearing the people on the sidelines chuckle, laugh, make jokes, and things like that, jump to conclusions and say, well, you know what? This man was doing XYZ, and as a result, girl, he fine too. He fine too. You gonna get his number for me? Oh, you know what? He a black man in America. He gonna get his ass shot. So we need to be recording this for his safety. Okay. So let's go back to this comments because I didn't see them while I was talking. I don't know what kind of producer I got, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll take it. So let's see. I just dislike how the people are just recording, laughing and not being your brother's keeper. I'm with that one 100%. And had the audacity to yell out, hands up. Boy, listen. That was everything. Carol says, I would have contacted someone he knows or someone kin to him, someone familiar faces. Sometimes familiar faces and people you know can help calm him down. Actually, in a mental health crisis, oftentimes we don't understand how those people can actually be more of a detriment than helpful, because you never know, those people may be the very reason that he's up there in the first place. So what we typically do, because the person has already isolated themselves, we send a mental health person out there, whether it be a social worker or a crisis worker who's a counselor or a therapist, to mitigate the immediate crisis. The immediate crisis in this case is this man without clothes on the top of a home where it poses a risk for him to fall and die because of the height. He's so far up off the ground and he's gone so far up onto the home. If he were to fall, there is a high likelihood that he'd die, either from a broken neck, splat, whatever. So we sent someone out there to have conversations with him that would help to identify what the stressors were that led to him being up there, right? Precipitating factors that could have been, you know, alleviated by people who are supportive of him. We identified the people that are supportive of him and his position on his network of support. And then we try to give him or identify his ambivalence for taking his life, if that's what he's there for. So that looks like gauging whether or not a person feels like their life is worth living, if they feel like they're tethered to this world based on the supports that they mentioned. And so that's a process. You also have to have fail safes in on hand, in place, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't know. You know, some people are just, they have their mind made up completely and they're not ambivalent at all. And so when they want to end their life, they're going to end it regardless of what it is that you do, but you got to try. Everybody has a value. You got people standing around recording this man completely nude and on the brink of, who knows, acute psychosis for all we know. And children are standing around and you're allowing kids to watch this. What is wrong with us? It gets worse every day. And you guys are creating more hostility by worrying about what the police officers who are on the scene are doing. This is obviously not their expertise. They don't go to a police academy to learn how to deal with mental health crises specifically. They're dealing with mental health crises, is calling the crisis line and facilitating proper placement and proper urgent appointments with the crisis worker. They're not responsible for dealing with this. You say that this man is going to get shot just because he is a black man. However, every police officer almost on this force seems to be a white police officer, and ain't nobody fired no shots up there to the guy. Not only that, they extend the fire department's ladder to make sure that, hey, you know, if you decide that you want to come down, here you go. We got you. I talked heavily about the mindset of Black people when it comes to accountability around the crimes that we commit. Apparently, I just read to you guys the list of things that led to the police presence, okay? So apparently he got some legal troubles, right? So just because you got legal troubles don't mean that you got to kill yourself. It don't mean you got to put yourself in harm's way. Don't mean you have to expose yourself. Go to court. Get arrested. Don't send your dogs out to fight the police. The comments. Did you guys look at the comments? It's the comments for me. It's the interruption in the police officers being able to do his job for me, their job for me. Okay. Give me just a sec. I'm going to share this next one. Let's watch this one. Let's remove this one and reshare.
Yeah, he's still up there.
And then I got to give it to him. He was resilient, you guys. He held his position. And he glistening up there. Got some good skin.
They say he up there falling asleep. You didn't miss nothing. They took it to them two right there.
Oh shit!
Oh, y'all thought it was a dog. Y'all was about to run. Y'all was gonna be so mad because it was gonna be over.
It's the sheer ignorance for me. You're yelling at the police officers while they're trying to do their jobs according to proper protocol that has been established by mental health professionals that have been in this field for the longest. Okay. And then you're making hurtful comments to those said people that are out there to do their job, to assist, to protect this community, to serve this community in the way that now they are forced to serve, because this guy has made his detainment his terms. He's decided to take his arrest to a whole different level. The urban therapist mentioned in his comment that it was more fear than suicidal. So when you say fear of what exactly? He's understood that he has a series of outstanding warrants. If the FBI tipped off the local police, let me just let you guys know what that looks like. If the FBI tipped off the local police, that means that this guy had so many things that he was outlawed for doing, and he was starting to spiral in such a way that they saw him as a potential threat to himself, because typically the FBI is not going to give any hints or tips to local PD. They're just not doing that. It's an exchange thing. Like, bro, that's your job, that's your jurisdiction, this is your stuff. So maybe they had a sting operation, or maybe they had some undercover cops, some CIs in that same area. Dude is doing some sketchy stuff. As a result, he's being involved with people that are running into their informants and their environment and their investigations. And yeah, then because it's not my situation to deal with this dude, and he's not a part of our investigation, let's hand that over to local PD. But if you know that you've done things, if you know that you have outstanding warrants, if you know that it's justified that these police are showing up to arrest you, what would make you want to go and hop on a roof and get butt naked? Good God. Like, there are no children out here. And it's not even his fault. It's not even his fault, because the reality is, whoever got their kids out there on these streets watching this guy, come on. I agree, Reese. I do. And to be honest, the real issue is us feeling like we are lawless people. There were several things mentioned over the course of this video. The very first video, and if you guys go back and watch this from the beginning, somebody mentioned that his mother had gotten shot on this very at the end of this very street. I know I saw that the urban therapist mentioned that his mom was there, but I think it was his father that was there um on the scene. Let's look at this one. The real enemy is the holders of the keys to the prison we are all incarcerated in. Who holds the key to you going to prison though? That's the real question. Nobody goes to prison if they're not doing criminal activity or associated with criminal activity that's taking place. The vast majority of people who are incarcerated in the system, though the system sometimes may convict people that they don't have evidence against, sufficient evidence to convict, and or people that are convicted wrongfully because the evidence points in a different direction and the police work, detectives works, done is not necessarily sufficient. So I agree there are some people who are locked up due to no fault of their own or not committing the crimes that they're locked up for. Let's put it like that. However, when you affiliate yourself with criminal activity, do you think that you're not supposed to become, I don't know, a permanent inhabitant of the jail system? I don't know. Like, or a temporary inhabitant, temporary stay, just going away, vacationing for a little while. Help me understand. They are furthering a divide that need not exist. Well, who it depends on the day. I feel like the people who are standing around recording this and having these commentaries that lean towards the fact that this man is, because he's black, going to be killed, going to be shot, going to be whatever, just due to him being black, and that's it. Before anything unfolds, like I talked before about Umar Johnson and his mindset that there is some war that black people are going to have to prepare themselves for, right? It's the same thing. You can't move into the space with a person in unknown circumstances, unknown biases. You don't know anything about that person and just assume that that person doesn't like you because of the color of your skin. Essentially, it does say that you're equally racist, like you think they are. That's what it says, okay? And that's that part. But the largest component here to me is this. And if you guys get a chance and have not already watched the movie Them, or it's a series, right? Go watch the series Them. I think it's on Prime TV, either that or HBO Max or whatever. I know I saw it on Hulu TV, but I mean on Apple TV, but Apple TV will show you everything that's premiering on all different platforms. So, but yeah, don't find yourself triggered. Make it past the third episode. Keep pushing through all the way until the end. There are some basic things that are going on inside of us and our mind and our cognitive faculties, the way that we see the world around us. We are carrying vicarious trauma that has been told to us that we have and we don't. We are housing inhibitions from stepping into spaces and including ourselves with other people, and we're conditioning ourselves to think that we are less than human in our experiences here on this earth, and that is a problem. Like, literally it is. For you to sit through there and for you to record this man going through a mental health crisis instead of you doing something to help him. What's wrong with you? This person says it's hard to keep your head up when you don't got food or water and the heat is killing you. So calm down then, sir. Get down. Where is Kevin Samuels when you need him? He said that he's making a positive impact in the lives of these young men. I'm going to need him to go pick this man up and get him off of this rooftop and help him get his life together. Says, nah, that's the same annoying ass voices for real. Cops, man, it's hot. Y'all better stay with him. That's interesting. So the cops might as well not came, but it's not a situation. So you guys call for a mental health crisis team to assist in these issues. But then when we assist in the capacity that we do, because we are often escorted by police, especially in situations where you're talking about you have a violent felon. He has violent felony warrants. I'm a whole crisis team worker. I am not going in hot without police escort into a situation like this. Not doing it. I don't care if he's naked or not. We're just not doing it. Not doing it. Do I love my do I have a passion for the work that I do and love people, love my work? Of course. But guess what? You have these violent felonies, and essentially, even though the world says you're innocent until proven guilty, I'm curious as to how it is you ended up with these felony warrants in the first place. So I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna tread with caution because I have a family to get back to. Likewise, these police officers and fire department officials and law enforcement officials that are not necessarily working in the police officer capacity but detectives and things like that, these people have families to get back to. And it's important that they do just that, but they also find a way to meaningfully work in the capacity that they're called to respond to this mental health crisis at hand. But my question is this for the Black community: why are you guys sitting around recording this mess? What we doing? What we doing?
You sound real wrong right there. Y'all just say the middle person out there. And y'all talking about trying to go through not too wrong. Y'all can let that middle one talk to you. Y'all don't care about it. Y'all listen. Y'all listen. I'm listening. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to go like that. I mean, at the end of the day, his safety is
Y'all just giving us like one day.
I know exactly. It's for 21 days. No, they said they was on the leash.
Yeah, but it was on the leash.
I'm telling y'all. Come on, Cody! Come on, Cody! Come on,
This is in Dayton, Ohio. This happened today from the hours of 10 a.m. and the standoff ended somewhere around 6 p.m.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It's a whole job. It's a whole move.
I'm sorry. Hey, hold on, y'all. Give him one of these waters. Give him one of these waters. Yes. Hold on, y'all. Give him water. Can you please give me some water?
This is Dayton, Ohio.
I want that do they got a squishy thing down on the side? That's all I'm asking. No, on the side of the house. What, for him to get down? No. That's not no. He moves back. He's been out here since like 11, I think. Yes, 11. They said the dog's supposed to be attacking the police. They're almost on the porch. They said, y'all, of course, y'all about to they went and got
got the dog off the porch after they shot him.
He's trying to get down. That's hot. I don't know why they were doing it. But I did go down. I got 2 bottles of water.
They here for one, right?
They don't want the fall. I told them they take the ladder. If they put the ladder, he's not getting down. He's still not gonna come down. He's tired. Look at him. He's tired. He's gone. He's waiting.
I know that damn roof gotta be. And it's hot up there.
Fuck, we can't. He's tired. You been out here. He's drained. The sun is draining. He on mad, so he's not allowed to have direct sunlight. Yeah.
Oh shit, y'all gonna be so mad. I'm on 3%. The police killed his dog.
That's the whole thing. Like, everything else need to come to
like what? And they're over there laughing and thumbing up and all this stuff. That's not cool.
No.
I'm not trying to do
They make your mind come back and get another way. So, what if you don't know where he's going? Y'all ain't giving him no water, y'all not giving him nothing. So that pill is just making him go work crazy. He's not going to come down to y'all giving him some of the comment. I'm telling you, then y'all might get him down. He's overheating with that pill. He's not going to be for y'all. I went and got him water, power, that's my more.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep y'all updated because he been up there. It's been hours, but yeah, my phone about to die again. So that's why.
We was just all over.
Family is here, but they won't let him talk to him.
She didn't even talk to him.
They won't let him talk to him.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if they let Mr. Morris talk to him, he probably come down.
Now he get delirious up there.
Yeah.
He getting delirious up there. That's what it is.
Okay, so yeah, they're just mumbling basically, and yeah, it's in Dayton, Ohio, and that's what happened today. It's exhausting for me to sit through this. The question I have for you guys: did y'all read the comments? I was trying to go through the comments so y'all could see the comments. Excuse me, because I think the comments are more indicative of us as a collective of Black people, right? Because it's more people. Apparently, it's been 6,000 views, right? So the comments are more indicative of where we sit as a community of people looking in on a situation like that. My first question for you guys is, what do you think is appropriate for your response to a person that's currently experiencing a mental health crisis? Um, and what do you think the police response should have been? Um, I don't know whether or not the claims that the police murdered, or I mean someone murdered the mom at the end of the street. I don't know whether or not that's true. But um the dog apparently was shot because the dog lunged at police officers. They didn't kill the dog. They shot the dog. People who get shot. I've been shot. Hello, I'm still alive. Very much so. Lost a lot of blood. You know, a couple of surgeries later, I'm still alive. Hello, I'm still alive. Mm-hmm. So people who are shot don't always die. They don't, whether that's the intention or not. Nope. It's not a definitive outcome of being shot. Yep. Welcome to the real world. However, I think that people should not handle weapons if they are not professionals. Because I feel like weapons in our community lead to people dying, and of course that's probably how, if his mother was killed, she got killed. But still, but either way, here's the reality. Here's the thing: we're standing around. I say we because we're all Black and brown people, or people who identify with or have some level of empathy. So we empathize with the Black community. We are standing around recording this content, and we're not actually helping the situation. We're more so hindering the situation by way of getting in the way of police officers trying to do their best work. Furthermore, we have our own preconceived notions and biases that are leading the way that we approach this. And this guy, obviously, he had police encounter. He had a police encounter for a reason, not just one warrant, but multiple. So he had every reason to flee and try and take some level of refuge to try and deflect away from him being prosecuted for whatever crimes he stands to be arrested on. Is it okay? Do we excuse criminal behavior in our community as a result of a person going on the top of a roof and becoming nude? That's my question for you guys. What is acceptable and what's not acceptable in our community in response to police presence? Um, and the larger issue at hand for me is, how are we creating hostility in our community in situations like this where the police have obviously been called? We will call the police. That's what I don't get. I don't understand that. We will call the police for assistance, for help, and then we will ridicule same said police officers for rendering assistance and help. And then we will further criminalize them and say that they're here to murder us. Murder us. And we call them. Make your mind up. Like Kevin Samuel said earlier today, you can't have both ways. They can't be here to help and hinder. Okay. What would you have done in this situation? And what do you think that the people who were standing on the side viewing or whatever, what do you think they should have done in this situation? Do you feel like the outcome, and just to give you guys the outcome, the guy did survive. He did get down, and currently he is seeking treatment at a hospital for the mental health crisis that is apparent in this situation. He was obviously experiencing a significant degree of, stress, and as a result, he climbed onto the rooftop somewhere and was naked, all the way naked. You got naked out here, took your clothes off, said, you know what? Sitting on this rooftop today. I guess he didn't bank on it being hot though, because he was. I know he was hot. I know he was hot. No, he was hot. The sun was hot. I woke up hot today, and I'm in Atlanta. I'm hot for him. I was hot for him. I think I'm drained a little bit from watching the content. Actually, I think I'm emotionally drained. I'm trying to make sense of it all. My brain hurts. But so I'm here for accountability, people. I don't believe in excusing the inadequacies of us when we respond inadequately to police officer or the police presence. I don't believe in saying that because this guy is a Black man and he's on top of the house, Police officers are only there to murder him. The sentiments that were shared by people who were not only viewing and commenting in the commentary area, but also the people who were around, you know, having conversations as we viewed the video from the beginning. You said to avoid that, the Black community needs to be policed by Black police officers. There were Black police officers there as well. Having a Black police officer police your community has nothing to do with the lawlessness or the comfortability that a person has for police presence, because guess what? They're all blue. They're not Black. That's coming from those same said people who have those inadequacies, those feelings that we're not properly policed as a community. Oftentimes we talk about, well, somebody who lives in our community needs to police us. No, 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 that's a lie too. So we tell ourselves small lies for us to excuse the larger issues that we have in our community of entitlement, where we feel like because we're Black and our ancestors suffered slavery for 400 years at the hand of the white man that don't exist, we feel like we should get a pass. That's the reality. That's the reality. That's the reality. All these other narratives that are meant to make us feel good, fluff the situation, they don't make sense. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense for me. And then I might bite. Otherwise, I'm swimming the hell away from the ridiculousness. Accountability says that we need to be held accountable for committing crimes. Police officers alike, white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever their descent, are charged with the authority of policing our communities by way of protecting and providing for our communities as needed so they can do or render a proper service to our communities. We have to respect that. We have to respect their authority. It comes with us. It starts with us. It starts with proper boundaries that are set typically at home. When you don't respect the people that you come from, you go out and respect the people outside that are responsible for oversight for you. So it shows a lack of accountability at the family of origin. That's it. Gross lack of accountability. The way that they were screaming and acting. It's embarrassing. You said you can deny it as many times as you want, but in America, people are very racially sensitive compared to other countries. I didn't deny that fact. Who heard me deny that? I think I may have led the video off saying that. So being racially sensitive, right? Being racially, emotionally reactive as racist Black people, because that's what we are. That's what we are. When we've never had an encounter with this police officer that showed up at our door, we've personally never had an encounter at all with police. But as soon as that police officer pulls us over, we have in our mind already made up that this cop is going to shoot us because we heard that somebody else got pulled over and got shot. We didn't ask the questions that were important to the behaviors of the police officer or the spiraling of the situation and all. We don't care about that because guess what? Cop, you're racist because you're white. That's it. We don't care about nothing else. That just the fact that you're white tells us that your ass is racist and therefore inadequate and incompetent of policing my community with my Black ass. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. When we say that white police officers or anybody that's not a Black police officer does not have the authority to police us, how do we sound? That's like saying that your mom doesn't have the grounds to, properly have authority over you or give you a whooping if you need a whooping or a punishment if you need a punishment. Only your dad has that authority. Who thinks like that? Who? Why? How is that beneficial to your overall gain? If you commit a crime, if you're around criminal activity, if you're committing crimes every day, if you're committing crimes once a week, if you're committing crimes once a month, if you're committing them once a year, I don't care. You have to be held for the crimes that you commit and expose yourself to. All of it. Because there is a whole thing called conspiracy. It's a thing. It's a thing. Oh my God. I think that Black people need to be more educated. We need to do more insight. I mean, we need to have more insight on the issues that drive the laws. We need to be more curious about what the laws are that apply to us and everybody around us. We need to be more curious as to who's getting arrested for what in our neighborhood so that we can avoid that type of retribution, right? Or that type of outcome for the things that we do. We just need to change the way that we look at the world around us, recondition our minds to be open to the possibility that the next person who is going to have an encounter with us that happens to be a police officer is not racist. And if they are, that's their damn business. But they don't have the intent of harming us. They only have the intent of following through and doing their job. So asking the question, that's really important. What has happened that led to my police involvement? There are more Black people that have never had an encounter with police officers, never had an encounter with police officers, than there are Black people who have repeated encounters with police officers, believe it or not. Here in America, by the way. I'm only talking about America. Oh, I agree. Oh, I totally agree that people don't subconsciously see police officers as authority figures. And I think that starts in the home. In society, there is a hierarchy. There is a checks and balances. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Your parents or caregivers have or are charged with the duty of cultivating you, molding and shaping you to respond appropriately to the environment that they're going to place you in as an independent adult citizen who has not only rights, you got responsibilities too. You have responsibilities, people. You have responsibilities as citizens. Your citizenship does not come without an obligation to do something. You didn't know that. I'm assuming you didn't know that. You have responsibilities. Those responsibilities, when we decide to negate those responsibilities, come with consequences. For every action, there is an equal, potentially opposite as well, reaction. You make the choice as to what your outcomes look like. You're in every situation for a reason. Whether or not you choose to apply the knowledge you came to the table with and then learn a lesson from this particular situation that you can take forward and apply it again with, that's up to you. Your maturation in this life is up to you. Your growth is inevitable. You're going to find yourself in those situations. They're going to make you uncomfortable for sure. You're going to see things that make you uncomfortable for sure. You're going to see things that knock you off your pragmatic rocker for sure. These are things that are inevitable in life. We're going to be exposed to traumatic events in our life. Whether or not we mature through those traumatic events and we decide to apply that knowledge, those experiences, gave us, it's up to us. Your personal development through the various stages of life is up to you. Or you could choose not to. You could choose not to. Everybody has choices. That's why they say it's the land of the free. Essentially, that's what that means. That doesn't mean that you're free to commit crimes. It means that you're free to make choices. And whatever consequences that those choices yield are also yours. That's what that means. That's what that means, people. So when you're standing around, hey Trey, when you're standing around and you're recording a person who is clearly going through a mental health crisis, and you're standing around and you have your kids right next to you watching this naked man, naked penis jiggle around on top of a roof in person, what kind of parent are you? What kind of parent are you? What kind of people are you to watch that? You said fatherless houses are not homes. Kids from those houses many times don't respect Black men in general, subconsciously as authority figures. Yeah, no, that's an excuse as well. So fatherless homes are everywhere in the world. I'm retired Army. I've been in situations where lots of fathers have been eliminated. A lot of them. The mothers go on, they have family members, provide for the kids, The kids that don't have bombs strapped to them and they're trying to kill us, and as a result, they end up dead. Those kids go on to be upstanding citizens of their community, living up to the standards that their father set before them, or grandparents, or mother. White people have the same issue when it comes to absent fathers, just like black people. It's not an excuse. There's a lack of accountability. That's the reason that we are the way that we are. We want to give ourselves excuses and say, hey, because I'm mad, sad, hurt, angry, in a bad place, because my father wasn't in the picture, my mom wasn't in the picture, parents weren't in the picture, I have an excuse to go out here and not be great. There are no excuses. There's only accountability. When we take accountability, when we see things for what they are, call a thing, we adopt new behaviors that are more adaptive, that are more productive, that are more noteworthy to the outcomes that we say we would like to see in our future. You have lots of basketball stars, NBA stars, right? NFL stars, right? That are black and grew up without a father, but they became productive. They found something to indulge themselves in. They found a sport, a hobby. They became successful. Lots of lawyers, lots of doctors who came from fatherless homes, and they never ended up as a part of the system. They never went to jail, not at all. No police interaction at all. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope. This is America that I'm talking about now. You have lots of successful black men, very successful black men that grew up without fathers, and they overcame, and they're proud of their heritage and their history, and they have something that they stand for. And they value themselves, and they very value the system they came from. They value the mothers that birthed them. They value the mothers and the fathers that they were exposed to over the course of their mother's dating experiences. They value the fathers figures that they were exposed to over their mom having brothers and, a father, right? Her own father, grandfathers, lots of men in the family that taught them to aspire for greatness, because at the end of the day, there are no excuses. So it's us. When you're a parent, you're a father, when you're a black man, when you're a black woman in the black community, and you start to make excuses, and you start to condition your child, and you start to tell them vicarious trauma is a thing. You start to tell them, you know what, the cops will kill you just because you're black. You stay next to me. Stay next to me. Don't interact with the police. They will kill you because you are black. We don't say the cops may kill you if you're black and you're committing these particular crimes and you find yourself, I don't know, resisting arrest. We don't say that. We don't tell them to not engage in the criminal behavior that leads to them having police interaction. We just say that the cops will kill them because they're black. And that's a lie. That is a lie. To date, in history, I can probably name about 5 people who literally had no rap sheet. Not only no rap sheet, right? Because we know that criminals, the best criminals, don't get caught, right? Who had no history of criminal behavior at all and were shot by the cops, with or without a gun, by the way, with or without a gun, with or without. So they could have been armed, and I'm still going to name them. Why? Because they had no police interaction. I could even throw it in, had a gun pointed on them, were racially targeted, whatever we want to call it. Reality is, if you have no criminal history, if you have no criminal behaviors that you indulge in, if you do not break the law, which just about everybody in the black community is breaking the law right now, because the vast majority of the black community, especially Gen Z, smokes weed, and weed is not legal everywhere. But that's their excuse. They're like, well, it's becoming legal, so sells weed on the street still. It's becoming legal, so we have to look at the truths around our behaviors, and we have to accept the fact that we do things sometimes that are not necessarily indicative that we have a value for the law. We are people in general who are a bit lawless. We have to accept that. That's a truth. Let's call a thing a thing. Let's not be people who make excuses. Let's move into the greater good of humanity and own up to the things that we do that lead to our police encounters and the negative perception of the Black community. Let's own up to those things. Just because we own up to them, guess what, guys? Just because we own up to these things doesn't mean that we have to continue to accept them. Doesn't mean that we have to continue to operate in that way. We do not have to be those people. We can just take accountability and say, you know what? I see this thing, and because it's a thing, I now want to adopt new ways of responding or interacting with these particular types of situations. So let me go get me together. I think it's very interesting that Black men can hold Black women accountable for self-improvement, for operating in a different way, for evolving with society, for the betterment of the Black man. We can do that. Black men can do that. You guys can call out that, but you cannot call out yourself for the things that you do. That speaks to a lack of regard of police authority in general, self-worth. How about that one? Or contributing to the empowerment of your people. How about that one? Can't call yourselves out for not doing any of those things, huh? That's pretty hard. To look in the mirror is very difficult, but pointing the finger seems to be the easier thing for most Black men. This issue is resolved with Black men taking a stand, calling a thing a thing. It's resolved with you. It starts with you. It started with you, starts every day with you, and it ends with you. That's the reality. But I have faith in Black men. I can't say that I've ever lost faith, because I think that eventually everybody's going to wake up from the conditionings of so many of these influencers out here. And then as a result of them waking up, they're going to see their greatness, and you're going to step into it. And the moment you step into it, you're going to see the light go off inside of your mind. And it's going to be like, oh my God, I could have been doing this all alone. I could have been this great all alone. And the only thing, the only person, the only element that was in my way, the white man, was me. Who do you see staring back in that mirror when you look in the mirror every day? Who is that white man? You are. So I'm going to end on this note. We watched some things happen over the course of this mental health crisis for this young Black man. And I think that we were able to get a very accurate depiction of us as a community in the responses in the comment section, in the responses on the street, in the things that they were chanting and ranting on and on and on and on to police people that were on the scene. Okay. All of the people that were on the scene, not just police, but all of them. We saw a great depiction of who we are as a collective community in our consciousness right now, in this moment. Where are you? Where are you? Help me understand. Make it make sense, folks.
Who alive can't put me in a box. I redefine any definition you got. I am the tiger, I'm making steps to the top. The flames, I'll rip it up, you just gotta hand me the rock. Take a seat, you cannot stand it. All I know, the flow harder than a Scotch bunny. Don't try studying me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.